Alright, today I'm heading out on a day trip to feed some elephants here in Chiang Mai, Thailand. And I'm gonna film everything with the SJCAM SJ30 and the SJCAM M4 wireless microphone without doing anything in post-production when it comes to audio editing or color grading. But before I start, I do want to mention that SJCAM did send me this camera and microphone and also is sponsoring today's video. With that said, let's eat. We eat breakfast in here and then get on the road. Cheers. Cheers, guys. So first of all, when it comes to the price of this camera, this is a mid-range budget action camera. The starting price is $259 for the standard combo, and then you can also upgrade to the charging combo for $289. That will include a selfie stick with a built-in power bank to extend the battery life of the camera. And if you also want to upgrade to the SJCAM M4 wireless microphone, that's another $15. The problems I'm dealing with in Asia, they always give you the smallest flip-flop sizes. Yeah, this is for me. Perfect. Okay, this will not fit. Let's try these ones. Okay, this is my size. Alright, and now when it comes to the overall design of the camera, first of all, the build quality in my opinion is fantastic. It is made of plastic primarily, but it feels really solid and premium honestly when you hold it in your hands. And it is also fairly lightweight, about 160 grams, so not that heavy for an action camera. It also has like a magnetic mount to easily switch between camera angles, or if you want to remove the camera from your selfie stick and whatnot. It is waterproof up to 5 meters without a case, and with a case you will increase that to 30 meters. And it also has a 2.5-inch flip screen, which honestly is my favorite design when it comes to action camera screens, because it makes it significantly easier if you want to get like a low angle shots. And when you do selfie vlogging like this, you can see yourself on a bigger screen than having the screen in front of the camera really small and so on. You can walk on these stones in here and get yourself like a foot massage. I'm not going to lie, this hurts a little bit, but I guess that's how massage works. It hurts you first and then afterwards you feel relief. It's definitely somewhat painful. And now when it comes to like storage of this camera, you can use an SD card up to 512 gigabytes, and unfortunately you do not get internal storage with this camera, but honestly using SD cards is totally fine. It's pretty hot today, huh? Alright, next, when it comes to battery and power, this camera has a non-removable built-in battery of 2000 milliamperes, which should last you about 150 minutes when filming in 4K 30p. But of course, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, you can buy the charging combo, which will also include battery bank selfie stick with 4200 milliampere hour capacity, which will increase the total recording time to about 7 hours with this camera. Alright, now let's do an audio quality test of the built-in microphone without doing anything in post-production. And by the way, this camera comes with like 2 attachments for the built-in microphones, one without a wind muff and one with a wind muff, which I'm using right now, so hopefully it helps a little bit with like rejecting wind noise and so on, although it is not really windy in here. But honestly, if you want the best performance when it comes to reducing wind sounds and so on, I would invest in this wireless microphone because it comes with like a wind mount. So again, this is how the built-in microphone of this camera sounds like without doing anything in post-production. And now I'm gonna switch to the SJCAM M4 wireless microphone just for a comparison. Right, and now here is how the wireless microphone sounds like, the SJCAM M4 wireless microphone without doing anything in post-production. And by the way, I have it connected wirelessly to the camera without using a receiver basically. And this microphone, by the way, is only $15, which is extremely cheap in my personal opinion. Hopefully it improves the audio quality of the built-in microphone on this camera. Got some fruits for the elephants, some bananas. Wow. Give me. What's his name? Karaya. He loves you, I think. There you go. Wow, so cute. Let's go. Gonna have a feast today. Wow, such a cute animal. Let's go. Here you go, little one. Here you go. Faster, faster. Alright, feeding the elephants was really fun. And now let's talk about the image quality of this camera. So what's unique about this camera is that it has a dual lens system. One lens for like daylight shooting and one lens for low light shooting. The low light lens has a slightly bigger sensor and a lower aperture to give you slightly better performance. And throughout this video, I mainly used the daylight sensor, but soon I'm going to switch to the low light sensor to show you the image quality differences, if you will. Now, when it comes to the frame rates, it's a bit weird, honestly. You can shoot in 8K up to 20 frames per second, which honestly, in my opinion, is kind of unusable. Nobody really uses 20 frames per second. If you are, let us know why down below. But throughout this video I've been shooting at 6K 30 frames per second, which is far more usable, but unfortunately this camera also does not support PAL frame rates like 25p, 50p and so on. But I did contact SJCAM and they said that they will release a firmware update to fix this issue relatively soon, if you will. So let me switch now to the night lens to show the image quality differences between the day lens and the night lens. Alright, so this is how the night lens looks like on this camera without doing anything in post-production, no color grading, nothing like that. And I'm using automatic settings on the camera with nothing really fancy, if I'm honest. And honestly, for the most part, I would prefer to use the low light lens even in daylight conditions, because it has like a bigger sensor, lower f-stop, that means less noise and so on. And I think it's gonna look slightly better than the daylight lens, if you will. But you let me know down below what looks better, the daylight lens or the low light lens. Let's do another comparison. Here is the low light lens, which I think looks a bit more organic on this camera, especially on like cloudy conditions. And now here is how the daylight lens looks like. It looks like the dynamic range is a bit worse with this lens, and also it looks a bit more punchy and contrasty, if you will. So personally, again, even in daylight conditions, I would prefer to use the low light lens because of the bigger sensor, lower aperture and slightly wider dynamic range performance, if you will. Hey. This is so cool. You like it in there, eh? Look at this little one. So cute. Alright, so I think the trip of today is pretty much over because of the rain, and honestly there's nothing else really interesting in this area anyway, so I'm gonna probably cut it now and just drive safely back home. So hopefully you enjoyed this little trip I filmed with the SJCAM SJ30 budget action camera. If you are interested in this camera, I'm going to leave some links for it down below, and also don't forget to share your comments, thoughts and whatnot down below at the same time. So thank you for watching. Thank you SJCAM for sponsoring today's video. And yeah, I'm gonna go on get on the motorbike and get back home as safely as possible. Thanks for watching, and bye bye.